Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Blue Ridge Silverhound. And today I'm excited to talk about probably one of the most boring dates of coin, and that's the 1975 Jefferson Nickel. But by the time we get through the entire video, this coin is going to go from boring to an absolute blistering hot find in your change, okay? For one particular reason, and one in which that has gained a lot of press here recently. But before we get started, as always, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for instant notifications. I'm going to be doing giveaways all summer long. We're going to be getting started here very shortly with some really awesome giveaways, gift cards, free silver, nice coins, you name it. I'm going to hook you guys up for being great patrons and subscribers to my channel. So I want to thank everyone for joining in on this broadcast. And like I had said, we're going to talk about the 1975 nickel, okay? And these are going to be business strike coins. So we're going to focus on the Philadelphia and the Denver minted type coins. There's no proof coins that we're talking about because those are collector-only issues. So the 1975 Jefferson Nickel, tons of these were made, millions upon millions upon millions of them, okay? These were minted during a period where not a lot of people cared about these mid-1970s coins, okay? So coin collecting was kind of at that stagnation point, and less people were taking these out of circulation. Less people were hoarding these by the roll, BU wise, okay? So there's not as many high-grade specimens out in the marketplace today as one would think, okay? There's a lot more 1980s coins that have been frittered away, that have been put aside for quite a while. But we're going to talk about just the raw value of each of the 1975 and the 1975D coins. Okay, so we're going to get started with the 1975 issue right here. All right, extremely common yet again. What I can say is that these are difficult to find right out of pocket change, so you're going to want to keep an eye out for these in really nice condition. We're talking mint state and with a full strike. Okay, so these coins right here, the Jefferson Nickel, the big allure with these coins is finding examples that exhibit full steps. All right, so you'll flip the coin around where you see Monticello. All right, this middle set of stairs that runs right in the middle there, okay, have 6 separation lines. So if you find an example with 6 sharp lines, all right, they call that a full steps. So it has to be unobstructed. There can't be a nick that kind of separates and cuts the stairs in half. It needs to be relatively clean. So the coins are extremely difficult to find, like I had mentioned, because a lot of these were, these were circulated. Not a lot of people held on to these. In terms of the value of raw coins that you pull out of circulation, the ones that are beat up and circulated are only worth a nickel, okay? But if you're able to find nice, raw, mint state examples of this coin, well, I'm happy to say that people are paying anywhere from $1 to $3 a piece for really nice examples, okay? This is primarily in part that people want to find an example that they could put in an album, all right? So that's why people are paying that kind of money for, a rather mundane dated coin. All right, that's why I said at the beginning of the video, it's a rather boring issue, okay, is that it doesn't have a whole lot going for it other than full steps and this one variety that we're going to talk about at the end of the video, which surprisingly is extremely valuable. All right, so that's the 1975 dated coin. So let's go ahead and switch to the Denver minted coin, and this is going to be the 1975D, all right, just as frequently found in pocket change and in coin rolls. The 1975D, of course, is most likely to be found west of the Mississippi. All right, so these coins right here, again, these have the same blight as the 1975 Phillies in that a lot of them were just circulating around, okay? Not a lot of them were, kept and guarded closely in collections. None of them were assembled in full BU rolls, okay? They just didn't exist as frequently as some of the newer issues in the 80s and 90s. So if you're able to find just a regular circulated beat up, 1975D, These are coins that command only face value, okay? But, you know, conversely, if you found one that's in really nice condition, all right, we're talking mint state, you know, type grade with some pretty sharp steps, okay, these are coins that sell raw for between $1 and $3 online, okay? So it's a pretty easy sell. You know, if you're able to find one, again, they're getting increasingly more tougher to find as less people are paying attention to these 1970s coins. So we got through probably, you know, the less thrilling part of the video, okay? What I also want to talk about, because some of you will be asking me, how much are these things graded? Okay, that's a really great question, all right? People grade Jefferson Nickels all the time to help fill out what they call a registry need, okay? So there are people that have these really nice registry sets where they acquire the finest grades of this coin and that coin, they put it all together, and on a point scale, you know, they're assigned an amount of points and it puts them, you know, somewhere, you know, in the top 25. All right, it's a lot of bragging rights involved for these folks. Okay, they want to have the top pop kind of registry set, so they're going to go out and search out some of the finest graded coins. Now, these are coins that are going to be graded through either PCGS or NGC. And I have a few sales to report. Now, nothing relatively recent, as in within 2019, as of the taping of this video. But there have been a few examples that have sold for a great deal of money. Okay, you guys need to know exactly where that fine line is between just a ho-hum type grade to something that really cooks baby. All right, so let's go ahead and start out with the 1975 dated coin. The most recent example sold on eBay back in February 23rd, 2019. So this was the most recent sale. However, this one graded NGC Mint State 67 with 5 full steps. All right, so this is a coin right here that's sold for a best offer. You know, it was originally a $2,350 coin. Someone had submitted a best offer. It was somewhere about half of that. And, you know, that's all she wrote. All right, so this one probably sold for between $1,000 and $1,200 for this coin. The only thing that's preventing it from being worth more money is that it's only a 5-step coin. Okay, NGC assigns either 5 or 6 full steps, whereas PCGS only assigns full steps. And traditionally with them, it has to be 6 full steps, you know, to get that designation on the slab label. Now, in direct contrast, another 1975P sold on Great Collections May 20th of 2018. So it's been exactly a year for this one. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps, and this one was able to bring in $2,025 into the market for this coin. So you see the drastic difference that one step makes from the grading of that 5 full steps to a complete 6 full step coin. It literally doubles the value in this case. So let's go ahead and take a look at the one sale that you see here for the 75D. Seems to me the highest graded example that I've seen of recent note is a PCGS Mint State 66 with full steps, and this one sold for $234 last year, all right, in 2018. So that's the only example of the 75D that I can find at the highest grade level that's sold within recent memory. I would imagine that 67s are going to be extremely rare to find, and they're going to be worth as much, if not more, than the Philadelphia minted example that you see posted on screen here for you. So we're going to go ahead and switch up to probably what is the most exciting part of the video. All right, and I've alluded to this particular variety at one point or another in the past. Okay, so the 1975D coin, all right, has one such variant where the mint mark is placed high up between the 5 in the date and the and Jefferson's hair tie. All right, it sticks out. Okay, so this is something that you could see with the naked eye. You don't really need a magnifier unless your vision's not great, then you would need a magnifier, but this is a variant of a regular 1975D Jefferson Nickel that exists. Okay, and that's what really should put a lot more spotlight on this coin. Okay, most importantly, all right, this was a coin that at one point in the past, I would say within the last 5 to 10 years, that a specialist by the name of Q. David Bowers had put $1,000 bounty to find a nice condition specimen of this coin. I'm not sure if he was able to find one, nor was anyone able to collect on the bounty, but that was a pretty significant event during the time when this particular variant was first discovered. All right, so it gained enough intrigue into the marketplace for a little while, but between then and now, a lot has fallen through the cracks. So much so that people forgot about this particular variant because, again, we're talking about 1970s Jefferson Nickels. There's not a whole lot else to find other than this one coin. So here's what it really makes it exciting, and it's worth finding. All right. Now you see on screen here, I have a comparison. The coin on the left is a regular 1975D, normal placement, well within the mint's tolerance standards, and then you have the high D mint mark coin. Now granted, the high D example that you see here also has a rim cud, or not so much a rim cud, but it's got just a cud right above was a Liberty. All right, so this one has a little extra pizzazz to it, but there are coins that exist without the cud. Okay, so it's either with the cud or without that die break, and both examples are extremely valuable. Now, let me put it into perspective on how much this coin is worth. Now, there's been one example within the last year that's sold, and it is a what would be considered to be an about uncirculated example. As you can see, it's the one that you see on screen here. This one sold March 16th of last year. Okay, this one has the cud raw for $1,100 US. Okay, this was a coin that was discovered in Arizona. It was sold on eBay, sold for $1,100, not even mint state status. This is a phenomenal reason why people should keep an eye out for this variety. Okay, I have seen in the past for regular beat up circulated examples that sell between $200 and $300 on the very few examples that have existed have sold in that range. The good news is you don't need to grade this. This is like easy money if you found it, and it's a good chunk of money too. Now, why am I bringing this up now? Well, there's been some talk in the community about possibly adding this variety to Whitman's Cherry Picker's Guide. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Okay, once they get enough auction information on this coin, okay, which by the way, there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot out there in terms of previous sales. So once they gain enough of this auction information, they're going to go ahead and put it in the Cherry Picker's Guide because they need to assign some sort of range as far as dollar value of how much these things are worth. Now, once it goes into the Cherry Picker's Guide, understand this is a publication that a lot of people buy into, and this is going to be more out in the open than it ever was. Okay, so the frequency and the ability to find this variety is going to grow thin by each passing day. You don't want it to get to the Cherry Picker's Guide. You need to find some of these examples for yourself and monetize off of it. All right, it's a truly remarkable variety that has gained literally no popularity in the last 7-8 years, and now it's time that we put a little bit more of a spotlight on this coin, look for it before it becomes a full wide publication scale. Okay, so that's the important part of it. It's an extremely valuable coin. It is what I consider to be the low-hanging fruit of Jefferson Nickels during the 70s. There's nothing else like it. So I want to thank everyone for joining in. Hopefully, you stayed throughout the duration of this video. There's a lot to get excited about this this development. Okay, things are in the works to get this thing included into the Cherry Pickers Guide. But I want you guys to act fast and be proactive in finding one of these coins. Keep it at the top of your list if you're roll hunting nickels. Okay, I know that's tough to do because there's a lot of other things to look out for, but this one should definitely be top 10 status. Thank you guys for joining in on this video. As always, I appreciate the views and the support, and feel free to share, subscribe. Would love to hear your comments. What do you think about today's video? And yeah,